In this video, we're going to be learning how to work with strings. What is a string anyways? A string, I mean, we've been using them pretty much in everything that we've done up until now, but a string is really anything that's enclosed by the two quotation marks, and inside should be a series of characters. And so anything like that can be considered as a string. Okay, so one idea in strings is that we can access each individual character, similar to how we can access individual items in a list. A string is pretty much just like a specialized list, kind of. Right, so we have a string here. Coding is super fun. And what I've done is I've tried to illustrate how the indexing system works with strings. And so we see that the first character is this capital C, and that is the 0 index of the string. The second character is the 1 index. Remember, in Python we often start counting at 0. There's the 2, right? This I is the 3, the N is the 4, the G is the 5, and then very importantly, some people get a bit confused by this, but this right here, there's nothing between the G and the I, but there is actually something, and it's the space. And a space is also a character. And so this space is the number 6 index of the string. The I is the 7, the S is the 8, and so on and so forth. This space will be the 9, okay, and then it will kind of continue. So that's how it works in terms of the index and how we're kind of working with things. So let's pull up our Thonny. So I have the same string here, string A equals, and then this time, because we're in Python, I've put it in quotation marks. Coding is super fun. So each character here, which is inside the quotation marks, is a part of the string. And we can use square brackets to get individual ones, just like we do with lists. So for example, if we were to print string A, well, if we were to print all of string A and run it, we would get coding is super fun. It would just print the whole thing. But if we do a square brackets and put inside the square brackets whichever number we want, say we want 0, string A0 is, if you can guess, the capital C. And we can put a 1, string A1, run that, and it is the lowercase o. So that O right there. And you can see how this is going to go. String 3 is going to be the I, right, and so on. And we can go -1, same as we did with the list, and this will be the last thing, which is the N, that N right up there. -2 will be the U here. Okay, so that's one thing that we can do with strings is kind of access each character one by one, and we could also do that in a for loop, just like how we do with lists. For I in string A, no, for I in range len string A, okay, print string A square bracket I. And let's see what happens. Run it, and there we go. Coding is super fun. This time they're printing one by one. And that's because I guess we have multiple print lines. Yeah, so that's how we can kind of access each thing in a for loop. Okay, how do we make a new string? Well, okay, we can make a new string. Let's say string B equals. You know how when we're making a new list we go empty square brackets? When we're making a string we go empty quotation marks. Quotation mark, okay? Nothing inside the quotation marks. This is what we call an empty string. We can put something in our empty string. So we can do that a few different ways. Number one, we can, with lists, we add things to it by using append. With strings, we don't use append, we use the plus, right? String B plus, hey. Okay, and we go string B equals string B plus hey, and we can print string B now. And let's just comment this out for now. Okay, so print string B, and there it is, hey. Okay, and we can add something else onto it, onto this hey. String B equals string B plus hey, how you doing? And we run that, and there you go. Hey, how you doing? Right? We can assign other variables into it. So we can say string B equals string A. Okay, so string A, of course, we recall is up here. Coding is super fun. And so if we run this now, coding is super fun. Right? So because we didn't plus it, we just equaled this, then we're going to wipe out everything that's currently in string B and replace it with the contents of string A. So that can be useful sometimes, for sure. But we could have also just added on, right? Oops. Add on like this. Hey, how you doing? Coding is super fun. So you just add on with the plus. We can also access parts of strings. And the way we access parts of strings is by using the slice. Okay, so the slice is so let's go back to my string A. The slice is printing string A square bracket, and inside the square bracket we have a colon. Okay, before the colon is the index where you want it to start, say 2. After the colon is the index where you want it to end, say 6. So here I'm gonna print from string A2 to string A6. So I believe that's gonna be from the D 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the space. So it should print the ding, or maybe it's just the ing. Let's find out. Yeah, it is the ding. So it does include the 2, and yeah, if we say it's up to 7, it should include this I of is, and oh, it didn't. I guess we have to go 8. Yeah, so 8 will. So I think it stop. You just have to know where the boundary is. So it stops before the 8, I guess, but not including the 8. But on this one, it is including the 2. Okay, so yeah, you can just kind of play around with it to figure it out. I always have to figure it out every time I use it as well. You could also have nothing in front. Okay, so if you have nothing in front, that means it assumes that you're starting at the beginning up to index 8. So if we run it, starting from the beginning up until not including index 8. And if we have nothing at the end, but so we have, say, 3 at the beginning or some other number, then that means it's going to start at the third one. No, the third one is the I believe, and go all the way to the end because there's nothing after the colon. We'll run that. And yeah, I starts at the I, goes all the way to the end. Okay, so that's how we do slices. Now we can actually do, we can use the slice to manipulate other strings. So string B equals, hello space plus string A, and we'll do a slice 3 to the end. So hello, and then it should say hello, and then ing is super fun. So we run that. No, we want to print string B. And there we go. Hello, ing is super fun, right? One last thing to show you is that we can use a for loop to search for index of the string, just like how we did it with lists. So, okay, let's have string A, and then we have for I in range len string A, and we're gonna say say we're looking for a particular letter, and so let's just get letter equals input. Which letter do you want? And so we're gonna say string a square bracket I. No, if string a square bracket I equals, and then it equals this letter right here. Oops. Letter. Then what do I want to do? Let's just print I. Which letter do we want? I want, say, the D, so it should theoretically print 0, 1, 2. So if I print D, and then there it is, 2. So it gives us the index, okay? Or we could print the actual letter, string A, square bracket I. What letter do we want? Let's say the P, and so it did print that P. We could say, oh, I want you know, the next, I want the per, okay? So how do I print that? So we know that P is the I, so we go colon, because I want a slice, and then I want 2 more. So we'll say I plus 3, I believe. Or is it I plus 2? Well, let's just find out. A lot of times, you know, it's just like, let's find out. Yeah, it was I plus 3, because we know that it stops 1 before. It stops before this. Yeah, so, yeah, there we go. That tells you how we can get things, manipulate strings, and play around with them, and stuff like that. The one thing that I forgot to mention, but we'll talk about now, is that strings is something called immutable, which means that they cannot change. So you can't change a string. So I can't, you know how in a list I could say okay, you know, list square bracket 4 equals, you know, some other thing, and it will change that. With strings, I can't do that. I cannot say, okay, I want to change, I want to change string A, I want to change the first letter to a lowercase one. I cannot do that. Pretty sure I can't do that. Yeah. It just gives an error. Can't do that. So if I wanted to change that first letter, okay, what I'll have to do is I have to make a new string, or I guess I could use the old string. I could use the old string, string A equals, and then I would say C plus, and then string A, and then a slice, basically 1. Is that right? Yeah. So print string A. So basically, I want to change this capital C to lowercase c. So I do the lowercase c plus, and then string of this slice of basically this. So lowercase c plus that. Let's see if it worked. Oh, let's get rid of that. So that's giving me error. Run it again. And there we go. There's my string with lowercase c. So that is kind of how you have to do it if you want to change something. It gets a little cumbersome. Say if I wanted to make, I don't know, if I wanted to make the D uppercase, well then I'll have to say okay, I want string A from 0 to I guess 2, yeah, and then plus uppercase D plus, and then string A from let's see, that would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 3 till the end, 3 till the end. And so if I run that, yeah, so there it is. coding with a capital D is super fun. So, like I said, a little cumbersome, but that's what we have to do when it comes to strings. So, hopefully that will help you in the future apps that you're gonna make. So, yeah, that's all for this lesson. See you in the next one.